So I think I'm really lucky to be here because nobody really understands the title of my talk, and yet a lot of you voted for it anyhow, supposedly. So I appreciate that. And I want to talk about something that's going to be probably countercurrent to a lot of what you've been hearing out there. And so I hope that you'll hear it with open ears because it's a lot of what I'm doing, and I think it's really going to be an important part of what we do going forward. So what is really bespoke legal services? What am I talking about? Well, the word bespoke, for those of you who don't know, it's traditionally used when we're talking about a suit made in England. And what it means is custom tailored for a specific purpose. And that's usually compared with the idea of commoditization. Now, what's commoditization? Now, normally for economists, it means that you're able to create a product or a service that's resource independent. You've got it to the point that it doesn't matter who's providing it or where it's coming from. You can always get the same thing over and over again. And that's really good for consistency, but it doesn't say a lot for what we do. You see, as lawyers, we try to get onto this model. At least there's a lot of people pushing in that direction. What you find is that we don't work the same way as companies. The incremental cost of doing the next thing isn't necessarily on a trajectory towards zero, all right? So my question is, do you want to be soap? Is that really what you want to do? Because you went to school for a very long time, and you're giving professional service advice. And if you go down the road where you're going to go towards commoditization, then everyone's going to undercut your price, and you're going to be no better than shopping for soap. Maybe you smell a little bit different, okay? But the real issue is that you're not designed to work that way. And the idea that you can push towards that, I'm proposing, is a fallacy. All right? The incremental cost of you is not like adding another robot to the machine where all you do is just get a little bit more for every one that you do, right? Every product that you serve, that you propose. What you offer is your opinions, and those are really valuable. And something got lost along the way. We started listening to what clients wanted as though that's the thing that we needed to provide. And what we're seeing out there is that people are doing that to the disservice of the industry. When is it that you gave up your opportunity or right to give an opinion? Now, it may be that the clients don't want to listen to it, but just because people are willing to serve what the clients want doesn't mean necessarily that that's the right way to practice law. The idea that clients drive what we do by what they ask for doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right way we ought to be practicing. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Now, it's typically the case that people use this as an idea for affordable legal services. And I kind of want to knock that straw man down, too. See, legal services are expensive, and they ought to be. The thought that you ought to be able to just give things away to everyone is your choice. So I propose a fee schedule that says expensive or free, and you choose when to do it. There's an old saying that's usually attributed to Henry Ford that said if I asked the market what they wanted, they would have told me faster horses. And whether or not that's true, it says something about what you get to say versus what the market says. And I'm here to propose for you the idea that you shouldn't follow along blind to where the herd is going. Most people understand the idea that credible changes, the right things to do, progress is always a matter of going against the current and finding where the blue ocean is, right? Going to that place where nobody else is at. So if you're seeing everybody trending towards the direction where it's a $500 will, then it's a $495 will, then it's a $490 will, think to yourself whether or not that's the right thing you ought to be doing. So how does this reach technology, right? Where do these two intersect? Well, technology should be used, but not to drive towards commoditization. Here's what I think you ought to be doing, okay? The first thing is be better T. Now, it's going to be a second Mark Miranda reference because he taught it to me, but the idea is that clients are really not in a position to judge your legal competence, and they're going to do it a couple different ways. There's $9 tea and there's 40 cents tea. The only way that we know whether or not one's better is by the packaging and the price. With technology, you can leverage looking as good as you think you are, and probably should be. The other one is to be heard. So you have a publishing platform that is unlike anything that's been in the past. There's no barriers to entry. So here is your opportunity to go out and tell the world what you are, right? That's what we should be using technology for. The other thing I'm going to encourage you to do is be an inch wide and a mile deep, right? And the idea behind that is so much of what we see towards, that's driving towards commoditization is the idea that everyone can be anything to any client that comes in. Specialize what you do. Be really, really good at it. That's not only going to make you better lawyers, but it's also going to make you more money at the end. And get off the shelf. Stop being a can of soup, all right? Start to use technology to package what it is you do so that you can't be compared by price, so that you can't be shopped against someone else. What you do is unique. If you like what you've heard so far, tell other people about it. Because if we start to change the movement in another direction, what we'll find is we'll be able to have happier clients because we'll be able to provide them with the right services, and we'll be able to change the nature of the industry and what we're doing, the direction that we're going. And this is sort of like the sappy slide. You get one chance at it. You can do whatever you want. You can build whatever practice you want. Make it an exceptional one. Don't settle. Thank you.